Hello and welcome to my channel. Now this is my Azure account, that thing that I set off last time to test if our thing is working. As you can see, it hasn't finished yet, so I won't be able to show you that yet. Okay, in this video I'm going to speed it up a bit and also add some modifications so that we can alter the cards and we can see that with what the results of altering the cards is. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add something in there called seeded. I'm going to set it to 1 for default, and I'm going to put so now because of this I can control the seed at runtime. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm just going to run a liquid test here. I'm going to only use 100,000 because it's a bit quicker. Okay, we just have to know that the figure is 0.358. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to change is we've done some changes here, and one thing we've changed is we've done the split thing, whereas it would only allow 4 splits. Now, because would only allow 4 splits, this here is it's looping through 20 times. So this is slowing it down a bit. So what I'm going to do is if I just do that, the most this is ever going to be is 4. So if I do that, then I can get rid of this loop, and that will do this, and that will be much quicker than what it's doing now. So I've made a change now. I'm going to do a trig test. It's still the same thing. Okay, so that's fine. So that's done, and that will speed it up a bit. As you can see, it did speed it up. That's not a good test because we need a larger number of it, but that will speed it up a bit. Another thing I'm going to speed up is, can you see here? It's got this, and what it does is, because I've now put this in one function, can you see here? It looks at that chart basic, and then it does index of, and it puts the key hand in. So what that does is index of, like for instance, index of will search this, and like for instance, I might put 77, and it will say index of 77, and it will say it's, I don't know, 29. So it's got to do a search. That's my thinking, but in reality, it's probably optimized. So what I'm going to do now probably will not make it any faster. It will probably make it, I don't know, 0.5% faster. But I'm just going to do this modification now, okay? So the first part of it is, I'm just going to chart key equals, I just need this value here. I just need to put it there. It looks a bit messy now, isn't it? Let's put that there. Alright. And these chart keys, I'm going to replace it all together. So I'm going to have to get the right brackets. If I take that out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it with something in underscore. Now, what I want to do is I'll show you here. That thing was like this. 6. Alright, and then we'll do the index of, and we put, I don't know, 6, and we return 1. So we don't want to use index of because I think it's slow. So what I'm going to do is, if I go to underscore page, I've looked for all of these and I found this one here. I found map object, which is like map for objects, and I found invert. And I think invert will do it. Okay. So if I get that thing what I've done before, if I use underscore dot invert and I put that in, can you see it's created the object that we wanted? However, these are strings and I need numbers. So that is where I'll use map objects to convert it to numbers. Okay. So all I have to do now is I have to, because I'm using two functions, for example, I'm going to use invert. Imagine me having to do this, invert, and then I use, imagine me having to nest it like this, underscore dot map. Imagine me having to do something like that. It's just a bit confusing. So what I'm going to do is, in underscore, there's something called chain. You can use this to chain the values together, chain functions together, okay? So what I'm going to do to make it easier for myself, I'm going to do underscore dot chain. I'm going to use chart keys. And now I want to invert them. And I want to use map object. And it's val. I think it should be key value instead of val key, but anyway. And I'm going to do number and val. So that will just convert it to a number. Then at the end, I always forget this. You put value at the end there. Okay, and in fact, I want to drop this on 2 lines. Let's do that. Okay. So that would when the function gets first, when it first gets done when it first gets instantiated as a function, it will run this, it will calculate that object and it will store it in chart keys. Now anything that wants to use it, we just have to do a lookup instead of doing an index of. Okay. So all I have to now do is, this is using it. All I have to do is get key hand and put it in here and get rid of that. And that will just do a lookup instead of doing index of. Now I need to test this. 358 is the number I'm looking for. And it's still 358, so okay, it's passed the test. So it hasn't made a difference whatsoever. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first test that we're going to do is I want to be able to remove cards and add them as I see fit. So for instance, I might want to say remove all the 5s and see what the results are. Or I might want to say remove all the 5. I might want to say, okay, I want to have a deck that consists of, I want to have a deck with say 10 5s are used, 4 2s are used, 2 aces have gone, and 15 10s have gone. And I might want to see, okay, how does that deck play out? And obviously I can work out the count and I can see how to play with that deck. So I want to be able to set the deck to whatever I want, basically. But I don't want to be. I don't want to have 8 decks, and I don't want to say. I don't want to manually do it. I want to sort of automatically do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to do it from here. Now we've already got one. We've already got one here called exclude. So just to keep them all in this, just to keep them all in the same place, I'm going to change the position of exclude. Put it there, and I'm going to create the other variables. Oops. So how this will work is, for instance, if I leave it like this, it won't do anything. If I put 5 there, it would take all the 5s out. Now what I want to do is, as I said, I may want to have, I don't know, say if I wanted to have, wanted to start the deck with, instead of 32 5s, say if I want 35, so 2 are missing. So what I'll do is, I'll do exclude all the 5s, then add back in 35s, okay? Or I might want to do 5 and 6. I might want to start the deck with 35s and 27 6s. So in that case, I'll do 6. I'll do 6 and I'll have 27. So that will give me a deck with 30. All the other cards will be correct. However, it will be 2 5s less and 5 6s less. So I'll be able to work out the count, and I'll be able to say I can set the deck to whatever I want. I can take, if I wanted to take some aces out, I just go like this. And okay, there's 32 aces. Let's just have 20 aces in the pack. See what, and I can do a trial. Okay, so that's what I'm aiming to do. Okay, so I've created the variables for them, and the next step is I just have to implement them. So most of the work of this will be in the card machine. So if I find the card machine, let me just minimize that. Here's the card machine. It's going to be in sample, okay? So all the work's going to happen in sample. Okay, so now, as you can see, I've already put the exclude in there. So that's already there. So now what I'm going to do is the exclude will take the cards away, and the other things will add them back, okay? So the add count, I'm just going to loop over that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a standard loop. In fact, I'm just going to do that. Let I equals there. I less than. So I'm just going to do a standard loop. And as usual, I'm going to do the same thing I always do. So I just do this so it's easier for me to see what's happening. However, this line's unnecessary. Okay, so that's done. So I'm looped over the counts, and now I have to loop over each item. So that's going to be this item will be a number. So I'm going to do a loop within a loop. all I have to do now is push a card back in. So if I do the cards, dot push, and I'm going to do the value, which is config that add, config that add value. So what I've done is that's the cards, and I've sort of intercepted it with here, and I've added some, and I've taken some things. That's going to take the things out, exclude, and this will add some things back in. Okay, so I've sort of intercepted it, and I've sort of modified it here. I'm going to push the values back in here. Okay, now let's test this. Let's test this separately by doing console.log, and I'll call this after. And then let's do we'll do it before and after. BEFO. So we're going to have to do small numbers so that we can actually see the difference. So what I'm going to do is, I want to do it now, and it should be relatively small. So what I've done now is I've made a mistake somewhere. I'm trying to think. Oh man. I missed the bracket or something. That's what I think I've done. I missed the bracket. Okay, let me just find this error. Okay, I think I spotted the error. It's really strange. I've just that error here is this here. So I'll put an extra dot here, and that's caused the error. Let me see if I can simulate that error again. Let me put the dot in. Save. It's really strange that I'll put the dots in here, and it's supposed to error out now, but it's not erroring. Okay, that it was the dot here that caused it. So I'll take that out. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to test our thing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to exclude 2, 3, and 4, just so we can see what we're doing. In fact, let's exclude more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's exclude 10s. Alright, let's just go over the top. Let's exclude everything apart from 7s. Alright. So we should just have 7s. As you can see, before, after. Okay, so that worked. So now we want to add 2s, 3s, 4s. I want to add 2 2s, 3 3s, and 4 4s. Okay. Okay. So I made a mistake somewhere. So if I go down to here, oh, that is the mistake here. I'm supposed to put an eye there, and that should work. And it still isn't working. Problem is this system here, what I'm doing the typing on, is unreliable. So because of that, I don't know whether it's a fault with the system or whether it's a fault with the card. However, if I go back to here, that's supposed to be an A. So if I test now, okay, before it's got that, after it's added 2 2s, 3 3s and 4 4s. Okay, so that is now working. So I'm going to stop the video now. I've got that working. On the next video I'll do some more modifications and also change the card values and see what effect that has on how whether we win or lose. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time, bye.